بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. So today's khutbah is not really a khutbah. I mean, it is a khutbah, but then it's not something that I took time to prepare or read some books or did some research. It's just some thoughts I've been having regarding the location we're at right now in Egypt and what we have plans for. We have plans to invite people here, bring people from our Jamaat, people who are actually interested in going through Azhar and coming to Egypt and learning, going to Azhar University, maybe some other places as well, getting knowledge from left and right all across Egypt, because Egypt is dense in Islamic knowledge. But my main concern was for the people, because the reality is the first step before going to seek knowledge, one should fix the intention for seeking the knowledge, because one could want to seek knowledge, but that knowledge could lead him to kufr and actually at the level of shayateen. And people would question, why? How is that possible? You're going to seek Islamic knowledge. And what I'm saying is, Islamic knowledge can lead you to kufr and become being worse than shayateen and even munafiqeen. And the reason is, when you don't perfect your intentions, because intentions, you make intention, Ya Allah, I'm going out, I'm going to seek this knowledge so I could, your intention should be, Ya Allah, I'm seeking this knowledge so I could help benefit the Muslim community, left and right, or whatever, bring people to Islam, and, spread guidance and, do everything that you have commanded us to do with the knowledge of this world. That should be the intention. But once you have your own intentions that you want to go and get knowledge, so you could go back home and argue with and prove to someone that you have more knowledge than them, or have a hadith war where one guy is stating hadith and you're stating hadith and you're having a whole discussion. You could basically prove to people that you know more hadith or you know more Quran, or you're trying to basically become a sheikh or trying to become alim. I mean, basically do it for a status and to show people that you're someone or somebody. It's going to lead you to beyond kufr or even level of shayateen, because the reality is there are only two purposes of knowledge or Islamic knowledge. One is to bring people close to Allah and to realize that Allah, there's none but Allah. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, illahu, lillah, and illah. That is the only and the real truth. And then the second step is to guide people, like daily lives. Something happens, someone breaks a policy, you want to find the dalil, is this right, is this wrong, and to help the people function, because Allah sent the Quran so people could follow a way, a way of Islam. So you first, one side you're trying to get close to Him, but at the same time you need daily, day-to-day guidance, and that's where we have Quran and Hadith, day-to-day guidance, and that's what all it is. And the reason why I say the knowledge can lead you to that level of shayateen is because shayateen has way more Islamic knowledge and way more knowledge of the world than any human. I would argue more than the walis, because Allah has sent them for one purpose, and that is to derail people, not just people, even walis of Allah. Walis of Allah go through tests and trials, and sometimes most times they're demotivated, deplatformed, and Allah, takes away their honor that He's given them sometimes, and He reinstates it. But when they act up and when they feed into their arrogance, their ego, and the ananya, He does take them a few levels down, because everything that's related to ego or ananya, anna, is all shayateen. Shayateen is a root, that's his domain. Ego and all the attributes of the nafs, all of these minor attributes. The reason I'm not naming them, all of these minor attributes that are like greed, gluttony, they're all root from ego. If there is no ego, there is no gluttony, miserliness, arrogance, and lust, and it goes on. And other thing is, the reason why I say this knowledge that we're trying to seek can lead you to kufr or even at the level of shayateen is because this is shayateen's domain. And the way how he works is, he has to convince you. So he has to say that, he has knowledge. That's how he led Hazrat Adam to eat that apple because, he presented himself as a knowledgeable person. Listen, if you take a bite, you live here forever and thing. And he proved, he gave evidences and Hazrat Adam took the bite. If Hazrat Adam can take a bite of the apple, so Hazrat Adam, if they can do that, how do you think he's not going to do something like that to you? How do you think he's not going to come to you and not give you the apple? If shaitan can deplatform or cause an effect to walis of Allah and cause doubts in the hearts of some prophets, why would you think that he's not going to attack you and he's not going to try to completely destroy you? So basically that's why I say it is so important that we measure everything. It's so important that we fix our intentions, because if we do not fix our intentions, what's going to happen is you might be good Muslims, but once you take the lance and you put the Quran on top of the lance like what they did in the past and use the Quran as to your benefit, that makes you a munafiqeen. Or some munafiqeens are different images of shayateen, human form. It goes down. It's like a whole rabbit hole. It could be all types of things that you shouldn't be or don't want to be. And then Moody asked me, like, fine, let's say I fix my intention, I go to Egypt and I attempt to do the other thing and program. But once I fix my intention, is that good? Is that all? And I was like, no, because they're genuine people with good intentions that go to Azhar, but like I said, Shayateen is not going to stop attacking you. He doesn't just want to attack you and maybe derail you here and there. He wants to completely and utterly destroy you. Take you off the path and just destroy you and finish you where you can never rise up again. And he's not, people think he's just saying, he's going to give me a waswasa here and there, maybe. No, he wants to completely, utterly, and destroy you where you can never, ever come back up again. Even if you repent and this and that. That's what his goal is. So when you go around and you miss your daroods, your mamulat, your zikr or tasawwur, whatever you've been assigned, and you miss out, and you think you're all good because you've done a certain amount of zikr or you've got certain things, he's coming at you. And that's where the door opens and he comes in and he sticks his evil beak into your heart and he does waswas and he blows into your heart and it solidifies, and then your heart starts, thinking some other things. So you have to make sure, you have good intentions, you want to do good. You should always make sure to not let that evil, that thing that he stabs you in the heart, his beak, where he does his waswasa, you make sure that you never allow your heart to be stabbed by that beak of waswasa. So in order to do that, you have to always have remembrance of Allah and always be in constant zikr. Yeah, after you do halqa, but you have to go out throughout the day and shaitan's going to attack you left and right and center and from behind in all directions. And that's why, you should always try to stay in zikr. You're sitting down, you're driving, you're eating food, you're with the family, you're always in zikr, and quiet, silent, you're always in zikr. And your mind's going to tell you, but you have to do something else. You have to plan for your next assignment. You got to do all of that, but never stay out of zikr. Because once you stay out of zikr, he's going to come and stick his evil beak and he's going to do the waswasa, and then the heart will start to, it'll become influence and you will be doing things that you don't agree with because, he went to the core. Your heart is basically like if you're a ship, like if you have a ship, you are the captain of the ship and your heart is like the engine and the men at the engine, in the engine room. And as long as when you give commands and the people in the engine room listen to you, and when you say left, you just go left and you go right, and they listen to you, that's all good. But as soon as, Shayateen comes and he tricks the men, he's telling half the men to go right, half to go left, and now what's going to happen is the ship is going to split or crash somewhere. So the first step is to never even let him come into your ship. And you have to always, stay in a state of remembrance. Always remind yourself that I am, every single day, it's a war out here. Every single day I wake up after doing my zikr, after doing muamalah, even after doing that, I will have some sort of protection, but he will come. And if he can't attack you spiritually because you have too much nur around you, he will attack you, like with his human allies, his human minions. They're gonna come and they're gonna either tell you some stuff, they're gonna do some stuff, or do some actions, and you're gonna get influenced. It could be all types of ways, And he's not gonna relax or calm down or stop his attacks. He's gonna, if he can't attack you in this direction, he's gonna try to attack left, and if he can't attack you left and right, he's gonna attack you center. He's not stopping anytime soon. But that's why when Moody said, if I correct my intentions, is that enough? So no, good intentions is not just enough. Good intentions followed by actions of maintaining those good intentions is what is something that's sustainable. And other thing is, besides understanding that, that one should have good intentions, especially while coming to Egypt and learning knowledge, because this is a very big trap. I was just at the house in that apartment, and you have a masjid here, and after a few meters, there's another masjid. And usually in Islamic countries, if this masjid is, both of them want to do Jummah, one's going to do a Jummah at 1 o'clock, the other's going to do a Jummah at 1:45. And the reason is, the masjid A is going to do a khutbah, and B is going to do khutbah. They don't want their khutbah to, be at the same time, so people around the neighborhood, around the area get confused, and it's like a battle between who's heard the most. But I'm sitting at my apartment and I hear both of these people shouting. One guy at the masjid is talking about something, and the other guy is talking about other, and it feels like they're competing with each other, like trying to compete, like I got more knowledge, I got more knowledge, and it's literally, that is a fact. And they're trying to raise their voices, and the guy who has the loudest voice and gets to scream and convince the most people, and it's like a whole battle going on. That's just the reality of the situation of the Muslim world right now. So if that's the reality of people who are giving khutbah, imagine the reality of the general folk. The people who are supposed to be giving khutbah are supposed to be people who should set examples, or to set a path or pave a way. So the people who are behind them or in front of them, who he's given khutbah to, they can follow the path he's presenting for the general people, so they can have some sort of inspiration. But when you're at one masjid and you can clearly hear there's another masjid, there's a khutbah being given in another masjid, you clearly know it's there because both of you all have loudspeakers, and you're just trying to make your khutbah louder, and he's trying to make his louder, and you're trying to insert more hadith, he's trying to insert more Quran, and there's a whole battle going on. What's the purpose of that? That's utter nonsense. That is the state of the world right now. And it reminds me of when Holy Prophet ﷺ came to Abu Ji, 1974, Pakistan lost a battle Abu Ji participated in. Usually any battle or war Abu Ji participated in, Pakistan, India, any of these things, he usually got upper hand victory. This time Holy Prophet ﷺ came and he says, should not I tell you why Pakistan lost this battle? One of the things, I don't remember much of this incident, but one of the things was ladies have stopped obeying their husbands. That was one. There was something about immodesty, and then one of them was about the scholars of Islam have started to hide knowledge, and they started to, adulter with knowledge. They're trying to misalign and, give out knowledge and put it to their advantage. And this is in the 1970s. This is before Abu Ji came to Morocco, maybe 60s, I'm not sure. So, this is not something new. It's been going on since, after the Ottoman Empire collapsed. And this has been going on forever, but it's spiking nowadays. People think, you can Go on YouTube, learn a few things about Hadith, Quran, and Dalil, how to give Dalils and stuff. Maybe you read a few books, put on a thobe, put on a topi, put some oud on, maybe some tasbihs, spend a few years, and you're a sheikh now. You can give Dalils and stuff. That's the state of the world we are right now. And as we're Sufis, and we follow both Sharia and Tariqah, and we believe that both knowledges, we should have both knowledges, the physical world and the esoteric world. But we also understand that, to give the dalils of the exoteric world, you do have to have sufficient knowledge. And meanwhile, we have people, they're like, asking for, Abu G's, what is Abu G's, who gave him his ijazah? Meanwhile, bro, you have where's your ijazah? Who said you, who gave you the permission to question anybody? Wait, who are you? You're irrelevant. What have you done? Like I said, good intentions have to be followed by good actions. Where's your actions, bro? Where's the good things that you brought to society, to the Muslim world? What have you done? First of all, what have you done? Who are you to come? And I think what you think is irrelevant, because you're nobody. So when you try to use people, not just the people who are attacking our community, other people, they think, these Islamists and YouTubers and this, they're fighting each other, arguments and Salafis and Shias and things, and they're fighting. Like, who are you guys? You just grew a beard, spent a few years going to these street dawah things, and now everybody's given their opinions. But bro, first get some real Islamic knowledge. Go spend, if you want to get the worldly knowledge, Islamic knowledge as you think, fine, do that, but it takes a long time. These people in the 200, 300, 400 years back who had Islamic knowledge, they didn't study for 2, 3, 4, 5 years and come out, given Islamic facts and knowledges and they spent 40 years, 50, most of their lifetimes. And after they spent most of their lifetimes, then these like we have Imam Abu Hanifa, and these people, they made the madhabs and stuff, so we could, it's easier to follow. Pass from, if one imam was in this area, so everybody in this area would follow this path. So people have like a path to follow. They don't have to go in everyday life and try to they have these questions and they come back and go back and forth. They already have a set thing, so it helps the Muslim. But these people took years, 20 years, 30 years, 40, and after spending that time, not just learning exoteric knowledge, also learning esoteric knowledge from the shayukh and actual sheikhs. Not sheikh because there's a big misconception going on. People think when you get, spend a few years in Azhar, you're a sheikh. I mean sheikh people like walis of Allah. So these people had walis of Allah, and then they had the teachers and thing. And when they learned all of their stuff, and then they came out and gave their dalils and presented everything with facts and evidences and proper, in a mannerful way. But now you have ignorant folks. Ignorant people who spend few years on YouTube or Instagram and social media finding some evidences, they read a few quotes and they come out speaking a bunch of nonsense. And what they don't realize is that the internet, they're doing this all on the internet. Who invented the internet? Internet is invention of the kufr. And how the internet works is because I've done social media ads. Every website is ranked, all right? So if you have a website and you started it, let's say you're trying to sell or put up articles on, combs, wooden combs. The business that's already has the most funds and the most, people and the most a better team, their article or their page is going to rank all the way up. That's how the internet works. It's called search engine optimization. And in order to get your website to be ranked up, you have to spend lots of money on keywords and ad spends, and spend lots of money, and then your website ranks up. And you have to just go reverse engineer, see who has all of these, who owns the domains of all of these websites where you get your Islamic knowledge from. And you find out 80% of all of the websites on the internet, or all channels on the internet, are owned by Salafis and Wahhabis, who, even if they're not Salafis or Wahhabis yet, they've studied from Medina University, which is absolutely free. But the reason why it's free, because in actuality, nothing in this world is free. If it's free, they know that they have their agendas. There's an agenda stuck somewhere. These people study from Medina University with learning with the agenda of these Sauditas and stuff, and they come out and they have these YouTubes and they have these articles. So anytime you type in any Islamic question, you're getting the answer from the perspective of these people over here. So so when people go and try to, I found out from the internet, it says this and this, and bro, you're using a program or a means, a method invented by the kafir that's mostly saturated with people who are extremists, who go around blowing up shrines and killing and harming innocent people. You're using their means of access to get information. That just shows how ignorant you are. Not just ignorant in Islam, ignorant in how this world works. Forget about Islam. You don't even know how the world works. And then people want to spread out misinformation. And then the thing is, people spread misinformation, but the fact that you're going to believe this misinformation is hilarious, because we as Muslims, this is for our Jamaat people who confuse. These people are confused. Are you that dumb? So when he had 9/11, his people say Muslims are terrorists, and there was all this confusion going on. Were you confused that Allah has given you so many examples in history where He's showed that misinformation causes people to have different thoughts, and through misinformation people thought that Muslims are terrorists, and we were actually we were suffering. And now a similar thing is happening where a group of folks are going out. They're saying that we do shirk, we do bid'ah, and now we're confused. And Allah just gave you example where and Allah is showing you how you live in the era of misinformation and how you have to be so careful of where you get your information from. And now finally you're being tested within your own community. Now you're confused, and because a little doubt came here and some confusion happened here. Are you that dumb? What's going on? But then I kind of blame the people as well. Most of the people in our Jamaat that are confused, they either aren't following what Abu Ji has told them, or they're not on the path. Because Abu Ji, with the path that he's given us, it's when you follow everything back to back, it keeps you at a certain level where you're not going to get confused. But as soon as you got to sort of derail yourself, you go into the cities and you live with the kafirs and things and that, and you hang out with the regular folk, and then you start to get misaligned and stuff. Then that's where all the confusion comes from. So before you say that you're confused, first step is go make your salat. When was the last time you made 5 salat in Jamaat and made your Jummah or read Holy Quran? When was the last time you did zikr? When was the last time you picked up an Islamic book and read it? Meanwhile, you have no knowledge of Islam, and you hear basically questions like if I'm teaching math, you're a student of grade 2. You're doing pluses and minuses. You're asking for the Pythagoras theorem, and you can't understand it. So therefore you can't understand it. That means it's false, because the people were unable to explain to you. The reason why you were unable to understand the Pythagoras theorem was because you're in grade 2, bro. Go to grade 3, 4, 5, finish your grades, and then if the teacher sees that you're at the level where you could understand the Pythagoras theorem, then the teacher will teach you that whole theory. But if you're unable to understand it, then just leave it. Understand this is higher knowledge, and just leave it. Be as you are. So this khutbah is basically, I really wanted the other two here to, because I want everybody to hear this. Is to make sure to correct your bearings, correct your intentions, and after you correct your intentions, try to maintain those good intentions, and do not let doubt creep into your heart. The reason why doubt comes into your heart, because you have to understand where doubt comes from. Doubt, if you're Muslim or not the Muslim, if you're doing something Islamic or not non-Islamic or just generic, and you get a doubt, like you're doing a math equation and you get doubt, that doubt is from shayateen. Any forms or every forms of doubt is from shayateen. First of all. So if you're getting doubts, you have to understand that's not something you're doing some reading some Islamic stuff and now you have a question. Oh, it's not a question, it's a doubt from shayateen. So first step is to have complete reliance. If you think you're getting confused and you have these doubts, have complete reliance. You take the hand of your murshid, end of story. Close the eyes and just follow the path of your sheikh, murshid, leader, whoever you part of community you are, a Muslim, Christian, whoever you are. If you have a leader, you take the hand and you just follow through. But once you want to, maybe I should open my eyes and try to find my own path. Maybe I should do this. Maybe what's going to happen is you're going to get stuck in a rut. You're going to fall left and right. You're going to get hurt, and then you're going to end up going back to the hand, taking the hand of the sheikh, and then you're going to have more doubts, and you're going to fall again. And what's happening is you're just disturbing the sheikh, the sheikh or the leader of the community. You're just not just hurting them. You're basically making them annoyed because they're like, we've traversed this path, or we have knowledge. How this, we're basically the guides of this path. This is what we do for a living. We take people from the dead, we bring them back to life, meaning dead to life means dead souls to alive souls. We do this for a living, and you have no idea of the path, and we keep telling you to hold our hand so we can help you to the truth. But you keep on dropping our hand, and you fall left and right, and you keep picking, and then what happens is, sometimes, you drop the hand and you don't come back in time, and the sheikh is gone. And now the only sheikh left is a shayateen. Because this whole desert or this whole area where the sheikh is trying to take you from a dead soul to a live soul, this whole desert is basically the playground of shayateen. That's what you have to understand. And if you don't have a sheikh, then your sheikh is shayateen. Because he's going to tell you, no, now you don't need to do zikr. In fact, salat. No salah. You don't have to make salah. You are the imam. You are the sheikh. You are the sheikh. You don't. This is not for you. You've done enough. And thus you get the sheikh distance himself further and further and further until he's gone. He's not in sight anymore because you fed into the thoughts of shayateen, and instead of trusting the sheikh, you listen to the shayateen. And so if you let go of the hand, you're getting destroyed, utterly destroyed, because the devil wants to keep you dead. Because what's going to happen is when the world finishes, he wants to prove to Allah, Ya Allah, I kept these souls dead, and he wants to prove to Allah that he can keep all of these people dead souls. And that's because he wants to prove that to Allah, because he has ego and he has arrogance. And he actually thinks he's going to be able to prove that to Allah. But Allah said, I will guide my people. The people with good intentions, the rightly guided people, they will make it out alive. And eventually what's going to happen is there will be more righteous people than dead souls. But Shayateen has to prove, he's on the battle to try to prove that to Allah. So once you forget or you lose realizations of the fact that He is literally out here to completely and utterly destroy you, you start to relax a day and try to think, no, it's not a war, it's not a battle, it's just, it's regular life. If I miss a few zikrs, it's just a zikr session. What's going to happen, bro? And the other thing you have to realize is the closer you get to Allah, the intensity of the attacks will increase. When you're just making salah, you just make it during Quran, you're just doing a few things here and there. You're just a regular Muslim, you might be you're not gaining any closeness to Allah. You're just at one level. You're not a threat to Shayateen. You're somewhat of a threat. He is going to just try to disrail you, try to break your family system and stuff. But he's not going to go as crazy as he does with people trying to gain closeness to Allah. Our goal is to get close to Allah, to get annihilated in Allah, to understand the real meaning of life, to understand the meaning of Allah. Take away the alif, you get lillah, none but Allah. You take away the lam, the first lam, illah, only Allah. And then when you remove that other lam, you are left with hu, ha, or that's the purest form. Our goal is to understand the true essence of the name of Allah. Our true goal is to understand what La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah means. And when you're going on that phase, on that level to understand Allah, Shayateen will be your biggest enemy. Not just Shayateen himself, his Shayateen and his human counterparts, his human allies. He's going to come at you every single hour, every single second, and he will try to utterly destroy you. So never for a second think that you're good, that you've done enough. You've not done enough. Unfortunately, in this world, this is not a world where you do zikrs for 20, 30 years and then you retire. This is a world, it's a very short-lived world. It's a shadow world of the real world that's to come ahead. And what we do in this world is going to show what position we're going to be placed on in the real world. Or if you're like the wise ones who understand the truth. You don't want to go in the next world or Jannah or Jahannam. You just want to be close with Allah. You just want to attain closest with Him. But many are not capable of doing that because they lack the understanding of something that trying to gain something beyond Jannah and paradise. They're like, no, we just want paradise. We just want to go through this world just to get paradise. Meanwhile, our Jamaat, our goal is not to get paradise. We don't want paradise. Are you kidding me? Paradise is a creation of Allah. We want to be with the creator of paradise. That's it. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم عليه يا رب ذو الجلال والإكرام أنت الهادي إلى الحق ليس الهادي له. Please continue to guide us to the right path and keep us on this right path and also maintain pure intentions on this right path so we may reach our goal, which is you and only you, because anything other than you is kufr. Please continue guiding us, guiding our family, friends, relatives, and our loved ones. Please continue granting, giving us shafa of esoteric types and exoteric types. And allow us to continue, uphold the banner of labbaik. Allow us to follow your way, implore your way, and follow the way of our beloved Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.